So thank you for that. All right, I will, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Forum First Timers Season or Still Undecided Attendee webinar. We're excited that you will be joining us virtually and in person in a month exactly today. So we have over 100 delegates from Washington State representing, and so we're very excited for that for sure. Yes, great turnout. So for today's session, as you know, it is being recorded. So please mute yourselves to avoid any background noises. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat box. Like I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of slides right now. So if you can do me the honors and just put the question in the box, in the chat box, and then we'll get to it in the Q&A session. Unless you're just dying to unmute yourself, you know, feel free to jump in as well. But in the meantime, feel free to just enjoy the presentation today. So here's the agenda. There's about 10 things in there. As I promised, it's pretty jam-packed. So if I go a little fast on a certain slide and you're like, Ginny, I need to ask a question, please just, you know, at the Q&A part, we can definitely go back to it and I can expound a little bit on it. Again, my name is Ginny Justiniano. I'm your current president for Washington NIGP, and I'm also the co-chair of the Emerging Professional, and I work for the King County International Airport here in Seattle. This year is my 9th annual forum since 2012, so I think I'm hoping that means I'm a seasoned professional for the forum, and so I just want to make sure that you understand why there's all this knowledge that I would like to just make sure that everybody understands how it will go in forum. And because virtual is new, that's also always something that we want to learn about. So let's, at this time, get your smartphones ready. I would like to do a quick poll. All right. Let me know if you can't scan the QR code or if you're having issues. No issues, and raise your hand, and if there is, but I'm not hearing anything, so that must mean it's going well. All right. Trying to look for my screen for the survey. Okay. I apologize here. Let's see. All right. Okay. Are we on that survey? Is it on? Let me hit refresh on this. All right. Can you guys see my screen on the survey results?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. I needed that verbal because I got many screens going on here. So thank you for that. It looks like I've got 12 responses and we have 15 people in the room. Oh yeah, sorry, Aaron, that your camera wasn't working, but we could turn it on later at the end too, if that starts working. So the question is, how are you attending forum? It looks like we've got 10% that is still undecided. That would be one person, and 6 people in person. Virtually, we got 1, and then maybe next year. So this is great. We got everybody kind of in there. 5 first timers, that's great, and then the rest are not. And yes, definitely last Seattle was in 2012. And great. Ease of accessing the rooms, participating, great. We are going to cover just about everything. So I'm glad, thank you for that. All right. Okay, well, let's get back to our presentation. Top 10 reasons to attend forum. So for those undecided or thinking about next year. I'll give you a moment to look at that. And so with that, without further ado, let me just play this quick little video. Oh, sorry about that. Thought it was cute to go.
So there's no sound, Jenny, if you're expecting sound.
Okay, all right, it's because thank you for that, Maya. I always can count on you to let me know that. Thank you. It was turned on earlier, but we had all these buttons going on. So how about that?
Perfect.
My impression of Forum is just amazed.
Except for
First
now
of
we
all,
can't see it.
Everything has been pulled off so seamlessly. I'm sure behind the scenes.
What's that?
And so now we're only seeing your Why You Can't Miss Forums side. We're not seeing the video. So we're hearing it, but we can't see it.
Okay, no,
Sorry.
thank you for that. No, you should tell me that. We practice this, but this is what happens. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
There's some hair pulling, but for attendees, I don't think any of us have noticed it. For me, it's the learning and the networking. To see that we really are a family, we are a bunch of just procurement geeks, and we understand and speak.
Stop.
That I too could probably do this and probably volunteer for NIGP. So how do I get involved? And that to me is the impact of leadership and the impact of the connections that we make and how we can foster leadership that's coming up through the ranks.
As the current leader of NIGP, coming behind those amazing people, those legends that we were able to celebrate this week has been really special for me. They're amazing people and they're still giving back, and I think that's so incredible.
Great. Were you guys able to see the rest of that? I apologize for that little glitch. Okay. All right. So if you're still undecided, and can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. So for those who are still undecided or you're still in the process of getting approved, please make sure to take advantage of using that sample justification letter that NIGP has prepared. And again, this is also applying for any future forums. This template is out there, and so you guys could have it. I could share a copy of that as well if you need it. But for today, the price is $3.99 for virtual, $9.99 for in-person. That price is going to go up after July 26th, so that will be after tomorrow. And again, if you have registered already and need to cancel or need to transfer your attendance to another another attendee, then you need to email forum@nigp.org. Otherwise, there won't be any refunds past that July 26th unless you are just now registering for it. Okay. Also, another thing, as it gets really closer to forum, the hotel availabilities gets really smaller and smaller. And so now we're just down to like 4 hotels. I believe there's about a little over 6 or 7 hotels typically, but now they're to the last 4. And so just wanted to kind of let you know that to make sure that if you get approved, get the hotels at least reserved under your card. They won't charge you for the reservation, just to hold the room. And as an NIGP attendee, a general reminder, and this applies for both in-person and virtual, that you are under the duty of care of your entity during this conference and representing one NIGP. So please make sure to read and abide by these code of conduct. And again, by participating in the Forum 2024, you agree that NIGP is authorized to share your name and contact information with Forum exhibitors and sponsors. All right, so prior to in-person arrival, please make sure when you get the email from NIGP that the mobile app is ready to go, that you upload that app on your smartphone. It's the quickest, most engaging way to be able to be in the know at Forum. And for those folks that also have signed up, you are automatically subscribed to the 2024 Annual Forum and Products Exposition community in the Insight. So make sure that you check it out once in a while and see what the chatters are going on there. As far as packing, make sure you pack for some business casual or business casual attire, and also like a light sweater because it does get cold in those conference rooms. Bring comfortable shoes, and bring a backpack if you need to, because you'll be carrying around probably your laptop and things like that. So make sure when you actually go to the conference room, that you will have everything that you need, your chargers, your anything that you will not run out of juice for. Business cards, if you have them, pack them up. And again, if you have a reusable water bottle, that would be a great way to stay hydrated because it is going to be hot. And then the other thing, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, is the GroupMe app to stay connected while in Charlotte. For the virtual folks, it's the same thing, the mobile app and also the Insight. And I'll talk a little bit later too about how you create your schedule. And it really helps you know like when lunch and stretch breaks are on. It does talk about that too in the app. And then how you can connect with exhibitors via the Forum app. Again, this is just a screenshot of what the Insight, if you have not visited the Insight community via the National NIGP website, this is the name of the Insight community that I just talked about that should have discussions on what's happening at NIGP. Now, this is just a screenshot of last year's mobile app. So I'm going to make an assumption it's only going to change to the year of 2024, but this mobile app has this whole menu, and I would say if you're going there in person, please load that app before flight. It does take up a lot of space on your phone, so when it does, when you have it during conference, being mindful too that it could be a little slow because of Wi-Fi. Everybody's using the same password, right? So make sure you just upload it a lot earlier, and make sure that you preload your schedule on there because it really helps you kind of move along in the building to see where things are at. I will show to you in a moment kind of a sample of an Excel template spreadsheet that I use when I go to schedule my stuff, especially if you have other commitments other than going to class. Okay. The mobile app is such a great feature because here's a screenshot of what it looks like, for example, right? This is one of last year's event. There's a notes schedule. You can also check yourself in. And then there's a documents icon. The documents icon basically means there's a PowerPoint. There's a PowerPoint in there where you can look at the notes ahead of time and see if this is really the class you want to do, to attend or not. And then you can actually download that document and send it to yourself in your work email. So there's just a lot of things I don't want to go through too deeply on the app, but that's just a snippet of that.
Can I bump in really quickly,
Yeah,
Ginny, on that?
sure.
A pro tip just from my past experience. Take those, download those documents and get them, like Ginny said, and do it by the, within a couple of months of actually attending, because that app will not stay around forever. And so you were thinking, oh, I had that PowerPoint and I want to go take a look at it and it's in the app, it's not going to be in the app forever. So go through and take the time to get yourself those PowerPoints downloaded.
Yep, definitely. And then if you're a virtual attendee, this is, I'm going to assume again, they're going to mimic the same similar look and feel. This is Bravura Technologies, and this is what NIGP uses. So as you can see, it's almost like trying to pretend you're in Charlotte, right? There's the meeting room in here. So when you click here, it will take you to the meeting room that you're trying to attend. And then if you want to go to the exhibit hall, you want to connect with your vendors, you click there as well. And then again, just check it out. These are all features that are there for you. So do a test run if you have to prior to, just so you could get acclimated. So even if you're running late, you know exactly where to go. It's almost like running to your virtual room. I just love this app. And I'll do a demo of that as well too here. And actually, maybe that's a good time. Let me pause here. Let me go ahead and see if I can show you without breaking where I put it. Here we go. All right. Can you guys see the app? Okay,
Yes.
Here we go. Right. So basically, I was able to email something from one of my classes last year, and there was a hyperlink that took me to the desktop app. And so from there, I'm going to hit the meeting room. And because this was last year, I viewed my schedule. And you can see, you can just go right to it. I can go there. I could add it to my calendar, or I can remove it from my schedule. But the coolest thing is, and I am hoping I still have it open. Nope, maybe not. Apologize. I'm showing a lot of things in here, so I apologize. Let me go back to that space because are you still seeing the lobby? Is that where we're at? Want to make sure.
No, just a black screen.
Just a box screen. Okay. Hold on a second. I apologize. There's so many features on Zoom. Okay. Okay. Let me hit the share button again. Okay. There we go. Okay. So again, I would just say that, you know, click on there, take a look. All the vendors are from A to Z. And then if you are going to schedule yourself, you can say view my schedule or my meeting. And again, you can actually, if I had more time, go through and say, once you've picked out all your classes, you download it and you email it to yourself and it goes into your Outlook calendar. It's pretty slick. That's all I'm going to say on that. So without further ado, let me go back to my other slide, which is really the more things to see in here. So here's another one. This is just a snippet of what a Excel spreadsheet that I've kind of prepared, and I will email this to you guys. I've only preloaded on this Excel basically the basics, like the ones where it's like you don't need to sign up. These are what's happening, and you attend or not attend, right? So that's that. Okay, the next thing is prior to boarding. So if you are in person, I would like to stay here for a moment and see if you can scan this QR code. This is called the GroupMe app. If you're not familiar with the GroupMe app, it's not something where you have to download the app per se, but it's highly recommended, especially when you are at Forum, because it's either that or you can get it via text. So I would say check it out, see which ones that works best for you as far as communicating, but it's at least a chatter in real time with all the other Washington NIGP attendees. And you can ask any questions there. Maya and myself, Miranda's there, Stacy, folks that are seasoned here in attending will be there to help you out. But again, I will send this PowerPoint so you'll have access to it if you miss this time. Again, a lot of the meals, a lot of the breakfasts, basically all the breakfasts are not, and lunches are not provided for several times. And so checking out places and asking people like, hey, where did you go, kind of thing. If you do download the app, this is what the homepage would look like. And also, you can see the members right now. So I'm hoping we'll have more than 8 members moving forward, since we have about 30 some people that's supposed to be there. And then upon arriving in Charlotte Douglas International Airport, if you're able and you actually met a buddy on the plane, you guys could share a ride share maybe and you know, save your agency some bucks. That's up to you. But if you like to do it solo, that's also okay. Just an idea. Some folks have taken advantage of that. Again, the airport is 7 miles from the convention center, which is where all the hotels are going to be pretty close, about, you know, 0.1 mile or so. It's a 15-minute drive. So again, you could take an Uber or a Lyft. Again, always talking about making sure you check out, you know, where food is, because I mean, that's something you do for the rest of that week. And again, depending, I'm just wondering how many folks are coming in on Saturday. Can you guys raise your hand? Or Sunday? Anybody coming in on Sunday? And again, I have too many screens, so I can't see you if you're saying something. So I'm hoping folks are answering in the chat as well. And I just say for the, you know, again, they're 3 hours ahead of time. So be mindful of that time zone. When Sunday rolls around, it has a pretty early beginning. And so make sure you just unpack, get ready for a good night's sleep that night, and hopefully be able to wake up early enough for the first day of conference, because it is going to be jam-packed. All right, registration tips. When you get there, these are the hours typically when they do registration. So depending if you fly in on a Saturday or a Sunday, once you get there, it's pretty obvious where the registration is at. But you know, get your goodie bag, get your badge. I call it a ribbon station. What that means is when you get your badge, it's got your QR code and your, you know, your little sleeve. They typically have a ribbon station around the corner. The ribbon station would basically say, I'm a first timer, I have my CPPB, I'm a county, I'm a city, and they're little stickers you just put right underneath your name tag. So when you get there, all these things that I'm saying will start to make sense. And then introduce yourself to another attendee, you know, one that you've never met before, maybe you met on the plane, or an NIGP staff and volunteers. There's a whole bunch of them out there. So make sure you just start networking at that point. And then check out the layout of the convention center. I did attach a copy of that in the sample template that I'm going to send over to you in a little object. So check that out. Otherwise, you know, there's plenty of time, but try to do that and see what the lay of the land looks like. Like I said, NIGP will have an information booth. You can stop by when they're open on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. For first timers and young professionals, that means 40 and under event, there is a welcome for those folks between 4:30 and 5:30. Unfortunately, it is only for in person. And if you're traveling alone, connect with someone there at that event. And then something that NIGP kind of threw in there is they call it a light up pen. I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking it looks like this, but whoever they are, I guess they're going to be identified as a first timer. Find someone with a bracelet that has a volunteer thing on there. And so if you have any questions, go to them and see if you can get that answered. Otherwise, you can also post it in the GroupMe app. And then there's a new thing called the gathering on the green. There's going to be a gathering outside, and it's called On the Green. Again, it's focused for folks that are solo travelers or first timers or new to Forum. And that's going to be on Saturday between 5:30 and 6:30. I'm sure there's not really any meals there. It's just a meet and greet. So make sure you check that out. And then, like I said, Sunday is going to have a whole bunch of events going on. So as early as 6:30, again, this is optional. there is going to be our very own Victor Lemer, and a colleague of ours will be leading some folks to worship on Sunday morning, and a room will still be announced for that. So again, it will be on the mobile app. Again, this is optional, so that's up to you. And then for us chapter members, we are planning a networking luncheon on Sunday between 12 and 1 p.m. Now, for that particular day, that lunch we are actually let out at 11:45, but we wanted to give everybody enough time to kind of figure, have a bio break in between before we meet up with folks. For Maya and Miranda, who's in the room, can you wave your hand or show yourselves on camera so that people know who you are? And do you guys have a quick update at all for the luncheon and kind of where we've landed on that? Because I could definitely pause for it.
I thought we had canceled it just because we couldn't find a place that had big enough. Well, we can pull everybody who's going to be there, but Miranda, are you there? I can't see you. But...
I am. I'm here.
Awesome. What was it? $45 a person is the only place that would take us.
There is another
reservation.
Place, so Dos Caminos, I think, is one of them that will take us. And they will give us a room that has a standing table, so better for networking. That one works out to about $45 per person. And then there is Mimosa Grill, and they are not very... Sunday brunch is apparently huge in Charlotte. So getting a reservation for Sunday, church and brunch is like the thing to do in Charlotte, apparently. So it's been challenging finding any kind of reservation, let alone one for 40 people.
Yeah,
but,
so
we do have those options, but they're pricey options, and your per diem is not going to cover that much, that's for sure.
No, it's only $17 for per diem there. So if you're a per diem rate, that's over double. And so that's what Miranda and I were like, are people going to want to do that? Because the other thing is I don't know, Miranda, I don't remember about Dos Caminos, but I know that the other place required us to put half the money down and have a minimum order.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So we had talked about,
well,
we had talked about maybe having that, and I apologize, there was a bunch of emails going back and forth, but I thought we had kind of settled on us putting the reserve signs for the Sunday morning plenary session, having perfect timing, great segue into doing this in lieu of a full-on lunch, and then letting people from there then choose how to get together for lunch in smaller groups. Or yeah.
So great, thank you for that, ladies. I apologize. There has been a lot of back and forth, and Sunday apparently there's a lot of things closed in Charlotte, so that made it a little challenging. Otherwise, for the rest of the week, there is a food court nearby in the east, near the East Rooms. And so hopefully like I say, scope it out on Saturday if you're landing there and see where things are at. And so, yes, I've created this signage that you will see at the big tables, and we'll put it in the GroupMe app to say where these tables are going to be reserved at. So if people see that we have a reserved table, because I did this last time, it really worked. Nobody sits there unless they're Washington NIGP members, so it's kind of great. And again, like I said, Sunday's jam-packed. So we've got an awards dinner, and our very own Linda and Brianne, who's in the room. Let's give them a hand. I think they're already winners, but they are finalists for us at NIGP. So they'll be representing us there at the table. Another thing too is there's going to be a wall of fame and a walk of fame, maybe, I guess, on the stage for folks that just got their NIGP CPP designation. And so if they're in person, they will be announced there as well. And again, the next thing on Monday, the following day, is the actual social event that NIGP is doing, and it's going to be at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's optional to dress up with NASCAR theme, but feel free to shop at Amazon and see if you can find anything. The cost for that is included with your full registration. If you brought a significant other, there's going to be a $90 extra for that, and you need to go to this website, which I will send to you guys later, to sign them up so that they can come with you. Otherwise, it's just you. All right. Another thing, the very next day is Tuesday, another social event, and this is sponsored by the local chapter. There is a baseball game there at the Truist Field, and this is just the information. Again, the PowerPoint speaks for itself, so I'm not going to go through there too
And
much.
I think, yeah, I think they need to get on a waiting list because I think it's sold out, but there is a waiting list, if I remember right.
Okay, great. So again, this is Maya knows this information because she's been on Insight and she's seeing all these feeds. I'm behind on that, but guess what? There's another option. So unfortunately, it is just for women. I apologize for the men, but this is for the Procurement Women Leaders members. We have a reservation to be at the Nuvole Rooftop 22. There's actually more information on that. We'll be collecting payments for it ahead of time via PayPal. And again, if you're interested in joining, if you can scan the QR code and you're a woman in procurement, we will accept your membership request. All right, so it's not all about the social stuff. There's really a lot to do at Forum. So what to expect at Forum? Again, plenary sessions and the keynote speakers. And I'm not going to read through all of the slides. Again, I will just go through it rather quickly because I want to make sure there's enough time for Q&A because I see a lot of chatter. So these are the plenary sessions that will be featured at Forum. If you're already on the NIGP website, you'll find that they have their YouTube introduction. So if you want to see what they're like in action, feel free to peruse through there. And again, at Forum, you do need to choose your own adventure on how you want to spend your time, which type of classes you want to really focus on, right? So just a quick snippet of like what the foundational sessions, and that's typically for folks that are new in procurement or even at 5 years. I still consider people even in 7 years as still new. There's so much to learn about, but these are just the list of sessions. A little shameless plug, Cheryl and I are going to be on a panel. So again, this is for emerging professional. This is one of the classes on Tuesday, right after the plenary session. There's also advanced sessions that are going to be included as well. So again, there's so many of them here that you have to pick one, right? And so that's why we always say, go on the mobile app, check out what it is ahead of time so you know exactly what you're going to be doing. Next one, I see Miranda on this screenshot here. Miranda, shout out to you. This was taken last year, but yeah, if you are going to pick the workshops, they're 3 hours active learning sessions. These are the list of them here. Okay, and again, this is nothing new. This is already on the website. If you're going to do the learning paths are either RFP, construction, or technology, and they're 75-minute sessions. Okay, and you can see that our own Victor Lemur again is teaching one of these classes with his cohorts. Okay, so there's RFP, construction, so you can see there are 4 sessions, one for every day. And then Product Expo. Forum is not complete without a Product Expo, and they're going to have over 200 suppliers there that will be attending and that you can meet and greet, again, virtually as well, but also in person. There's also entity networking sessions where you can engage with your other fellow folks that are the same entity and just share your experiences or ask a question, kind of like in our Google group when you ask a question. You can contribute that way. It's a great way to get to know other people from the other parts of the country that do the same thing in the same type of entity. There's also what's called the Join the Conversation. That's another session. And then really at the end of the conference, because this time they actually extended 30 days to now 60 days where you can watch all the sessions. They're all being streamed for all the members or for all the attendees. You just need to make sure you watch anything that you want to see again or the ones that you missed on or before October 30th. Super important as well on the mobile app as well is the survey. Take the survey of how that class went and let NIGP know. It's like, is that a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or something else? Also, again, on the mobile app, you can download your transcript of what classes that you take. That's why I like to use the check-in feature, because then it reminds me which class did I take, right? And then again, connect and keep in touch with your fellow new friends that you've met at NIGP. And then, of course, your entity would love for you to complete your expenses as soon as possible. So, you know, make use of that too. Maybe even while you're waiting on your flight back, because those things, you want to get your reimbursement for your per diem, because you probably spent more than that. So anyway, that's just a little tip on that. And then really at the end of the conference, if this is something that you want your bosses to send you every year, unless there's a rotation, I'm not sure how that goes, but NIGP does have a post-conference document where you can talk about what your major takeaways are, what action items you're going to do for your entity because you made it there, and that they understand why there's a return on investment if they send you to this forum every year. There's also scholarship opportunities. And so you can, and this is typically in March. Unfortunately, March has passed, but for future, NIGP offers a scholarship for young professionals and new professionals. So if you've been in your entity or public procurement 3 years or less, they would normally open it up for a scholarship so you can get a full ride at least to go to forum. And then for us at Washington NIGP, we do delegate a budget line item for 1 in person and 4 virtual, and a raffle. And again, this is this year's budget. It could change every year, but this is typically what we've offered. So take advantage of that. If you happen to be a procurement professional or manager of the year finalist, we would also send you to forums. So that's another great benefit for being a member. The next one is in 2025, we are going to Denver, Colorado. That's where it's going to be. So if you're curious where we're going, every year we go somewhere different. Again, it'll be about the same time frame, the end of August. And I know for folks that have kids, sometimes that's really challenging because school starts about that time. But again, just letting you know. And then if you are trying to pursue a certification or trying to do a recertification, there are a maximum number of CEH points that you can obtain by just attending forum. And you can see that's a lot because it is a 4-day, 3.5 day conference. So that's what it is. And it's a little different for virtual. And then just to let you know, because NIGP CPP is a new program, this is kind of what they published as far as what they consider, you know, a contact hour is properly documented as. And then the next thing, and if you haven't seen, I'm sure you've gotten emails on this, NIGP is actually doing, the member council will be conducting another webinar from forum itself, for member council, I apologize, on August 14th for the virtual first timers. And so you'll probably see and hear repeats of what I've already gone through. And then for in-person, August 15th as well. They'll have a frequently asked questions there that they'll publish on the website. And to register to that, I just put the link in here, but again, you should have gotten an email on that as well. And then another one that I do want to share, and I hope this video is going to go well. I'm going to give it a moment, but Radio NIGP published this this video, and I think that it's a great way of sending you guys off as the last link I'm going to share. But of course, at this moment, here we go. Okay. We good? Did that audio go well on that one? I hope. Great. All right.
Yep.
So Radio NIGP will be on staff there in person, and you might see them walking around and have their microphone with them. So if you get caught up and they ask you for your aha moments, please be prepared to do so. Or you could say thanks, but no thanks. But again, don't be surprised when that happens. They'll be near the escalators to the exhibit hall and the registration area. So they'll have a badge ready. You can see it'll say Radio NIGP, so it's pretty obvious. So just want to forewarn you. It's a good forewarning. I might be one of them to ask you for questions. So, and then safe travels. Get plenty of rest before conference and after. Labor Day holiday is around that corner right after when you get back. And that's the end of my presentation. Awesome. All right, I will open it up for Q&A. Did you guys get enough information, I hope? All right, I'll open it up for questions. Who's got a question? Yeah, per diem, Margaret. Food is a sticker shock. That is so true. Okay, Aaron, I see you on mute. Go ahead.
So you mentioned that the GroupMe app was going to be available closer.
Oh, can you turn up your volume a little bit? I can barely hear you.
Is that any better?
No.
Nope. I don't know. Is your mic like?
Yeah, I'll text.
Oh, well, we can hear you. It's just a little quiet. That's all. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. So you mentioned the GroupMe app was going to be available closer to forum date.
Okay, so let me reiterate. The forum app is probably going to be, in my calculation, is like the week of August 11th is when it will be available. The GroupMe app is available now. So you can join in there. And if I did not accept you, it's probably because I'm on my, well, I'm presenting. But it is available now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So the GroupMe app is literally just us Washington delegates in person. And if you want to direct message one of the members because you don't want everybody to see what you're asking, that's also an option. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions on that. So those are the two apps. Great question on that. Any other questions?
I have a recommendation to the virtual folks.
Yes,
I believe NIGP will show you the sessions live. And of course, with the time zone difference, it's challenging. I will tell you, you don't want to be there, you know, probably don't want to get up at 4 a.m. to see something at 5, which is 8 o'clock their time, right? So what I have done in the past is I'll get up at 6 or so in my PJs and I'll watch what I can. And then at 9 o'clock, they all go to lunch, right? So then I go back and I see the play, you know, the keynote speaker or whatever, it was on super early, and go from there. So it's just a way to get through your day and maybe take a shower at that time, right? So just
thank you for that. Yeah, no, thank you for that, Linda. Another thing too, and can you see my screen with the Excel spreadsheet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the template I was talking about earlier. And so I'm going to email this to you guys, but you can see in here, I've got a printable copy of the convention center layout. I don't want to click on it because I might jinx myself if I click on this, but also the food options near Charlotte, and then a tear off map. That's another version of what's out there as far as food. Oops, I apologize. I should have not done that. There we go. So when you see the Excel and it's got an embedded object, just double click on it. It's just another set of documents also. And then I do mark on there when dinner time is on your own. Obviously, the time where I just put on there is, it's not like I'm telling you need to go to dinner at that time. I'm putting a time slot, and that's up to you. If you want to go later, it's on your own, right? So I'm just saying some of these are earmarked, let's say on the green, right? This is the one. where it says on the green, gathering outside if you're a first timer. But I'm also earmarking to let you know the dinner is on your own. So that's, again, up to you. I did put on the spreadsheet as well the per diem rates, so you can see how much they cover for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then for first and last day. So that's on there if you're trying to calculate your expenses. And again, this is like the minimum of what is already pre-scheduled. And so when you want to add, what is the session I want to do? You just insert a line just like you would. This is your schedule at the end of the day. But I've given you this is what I call the bare minimum, but it's actually like, here's the minimum. Now you can add to it. So it does get overwhelming because you're like, oh my word, that is a lot of information. But this would hopefully help you. Like this tells you option one, right? Oh, go ahead, Miranda. You had a question.
Hi, everybody. I'm just wondering for the event at the Speedway, and it says that food is included. Is that like just appetizers? Can we expect dinner, or should we do dinner before we go?
I think it's all dinner. I mean, for $90 for your guests, it better be dinner. Yeah. And yes, there is actually. I just didn't put all the information on here, but I did put dinner and entertainment. So
yeah.
Yeah.
My understanding is it's supposed to be kind of a Southern flair type of a dinner.
It is. It's fair food. Yeah. Oh yes. Let me go back to my slide. I think I actually did say that. Apologize.
And it's supposed to be music and maybe dancing and lots of fun things. Tractor, lawnmower races. I don't know. Silly stuff.
There's a free van tour around the track. So that's included. Well, they call it free, but it's included in our ticket, right? So there's a free van tour. There's a cornhole game. There's a NASCAR and VR simulator. Yeah, so I did go through the slide a little quick on that one, but all of that is on there. And like I said, it is optional to dress up for NASCAR theme. I got my shirt that says "Start your engines." As simple as that. And then
Ginny, I'm gonna buy the same shirt. I'm gonna find it, and we're going matchy.
Yes, I will send you the Amazon link for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if you really are a NASCAR avid person, you can pay a little extra to get behind the wheel of a real NASCAR and race your friends on a brand new high performance go-karting track. That's what it says on there. Didn't read through that earlier. So fair foods and drinks included for that dinner. Any other question on the spreadsheet that you guys will want? I think I got it all covered there. So again, this is where you start and you kind of go up from there. Any other questions for first timers? Nate, I see I got you overwhelmed here. I got a lot of information. I just downloaded everything. But the GroupMe app will take care of that, I hope. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. So who's, since I couldn't see anybody earlier, who's flying in on Saturday? Raise your hand. There you go.
I am, but it's going to be too late to do anything worthwhile other than check into a hotel.
Exactly. That's why I say the first day, it's like if you're coming in Friday, Saturday, the next day is 7 a.m. start or something. Yeah, it's gonna be rough with the 3-hour difference. Yeah, and hopefully nobody's flying in on Sunday morning because that would be awful. Okay, sounds great. Any questions on being a first timer and where to go and things like that? The GroupMe app, I think, is going to be helpful for everybody and would feel like they're not alone. You can easily just say, hey, where are we meeting at? Because people are like, where's the reservation table? And I would say, it's on the right-hand side of the big screen to your left or something. And then you'll see the signs on the table. That's really helpful for us. And I already printed the signs and I even have a plexi cover for it, so nobody will take our signs and move it elsewhere. It has stickers in the back, so it won't get away. So yeah, it really helps to have done this just a few times. Yeah. And like I say, go ahead and still attend the 14th and the 15th webinar, because you'll probably learn another thing or two. But I've watched all the other videos that they've done for this year and basically like customize it for you guys as our members. We want to make sure that you feel like when you get there, you're not feeling alone, and that you do know a few people. And so, yeah. For the virtual people, do we have any virtual questions? I think you're going to enjoy the app for sure. So no questions on that. Have you done virtual forums before? Or VCon? It's going to be a very similar experience as well. All right. Well, I can give you guys five minutes back of your time if you want. Another thing too that you'll notice at Forum is there's gonna be a lot of professional photographers taking pictures. So don't be alarmed if they catch you on camera or on action. And at the end of Forum, they will send you a link to a Flickr album that kind of shows everybody, just like that slide earlier where you saw Miranda. That's one of those. Where it's like, oh, there's a cameo appearance.
I'm willing to sign if you guys have that photo printed. I'm willing to sign.
Exactly. Another thing I do want to send to you guys is both Cheryl and I applied for the Procurement Excellence Showcase that's happening on Sunday afternoon. And that, I'm not sure if it's at the expo, but we were selected to present the chapter. And so, if you guys could support us there, again, put that in the groupie app and say, come see us in this booth, and you can watch the presentation. And then I believe my understanding is there's judges there, and so they will pick the winner and see what happens. We're just there for fun. We feel like we just like to be a part of the community. And as your president, I will be attending the President's Luncheon on Tuesday and representing our chapter and tell them all about what we've been doing and what we've been busy all year. And so that's, again, for those folks that are saying, hey, I want to be president someday. This is one of the perks. You get to go to Forum and attend a President's Luncheon, meet the other chapter leaders, hear what they do, and bring that back to the chapter. So I'm more than happy to represent for this year. Great. Well, awesome. Thanks, you guys. I cannot wait to see you at CTAC. Hopefully it's not Delta you're flying with. Sorry about that. But hopefully they've got their, pink stuff like all worked out. So thank you. And we look forward to seeing you in about a month. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Take
Thank
care.
you.